We'll start. Tell me when it's on. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Everybody can hear me well. I don't have any microphone or anything, but I think the room is big enough, and I think I'll be able to speak loud enough. So my name is Christian Delisle. I'm the staff sergeant here at the Edson detachment. Tonight, the purpose of the town hall is to talk about our policing priorities for the new, what we call fiscal year, 2024-2025. So what I would like to do is basically recap a little bit what we did in 2023-2024, look at some of the statistics, current crime trend, and then from there, getting your feedback and your opinion on what we should focus this upcoming year in terms of policing priorities. So this evening can be extremely long and loaded and full of good questions, or very short. It totally depends on you. So feel free at any time to stop me, ask any questions. I'm here for this. Before I start though, I have 3 short presentations. So the first one is recruiting. You guys did not know, but we're trying to recruit you to join the RCMP. So no. So basically we need to get the word out. We are, like like every industry, we're really trying hard to recruit people to join our ranks. We need new young people. Not so young as well. We hire, we don't discriminate. So anybody that would like to join the RCMP. So Constable Rashan Udaya Kumar, he joined us in November. We'll take about 5 minutes and talk about what recruiting looks like. And then we'll move on with a quick other presentation, and it'll be my turn after that. So I'll leave the floor to Rashan.
Thank you, Richard. So yeah, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what the process is like and what to expect if any of you guys yourselves or friends or family that are interested in joining the RCMP, what the process is going to be like, and the changes that have taken place at Depot and the recruiting itself. So yeah, let's start off with the fact that I distributed some pamphlets to some of you guys. I wasn't able to get all of you, but there's some pamphlets right there for those of you who I missed. You guys can grab those prior to leaving if you're interested to pass those on. There's plenty left over. The pamphlets, it just has all the requirements and the process and what the expectations are for training and actually applying. So some of them are like fitness, mentioning that fitness is an essential part of being at Depot. Running, we do a lot of running, and there's lots of classes. There's self-defense class, there's drill class, there's so many different classes. The driving, even you'd be surprised at how much fatigue you get at just driving or just going to the range. There's so many different skills and opportunities and stuff that you gain and experience at Depot. So it's a good go. You make a lot of friends there, and yeah, you take home a lot of useful skills, whether you pass or not, honestly. There's different career specializations. So we got a member from the FIS unit. So what he does is forensics. He'll talk a little bit about that later. We got GIS in Edson. We have GIS unit, so they just do investigations. We have ERT, so those guys are like tactical unit. They just bust down doors and save people, right? We got the polygraph unit if you want to be a polygrapher or something. There's a lot of units. So the thing that sets the RCMP apart from other policing organizations is the fact that we have over 150 specializations. That's a lot. So you'll never get bored of the job. Let's just say that. So if someone's interested in anything, the RCMP has it. That's what I'm trying to get at here. The work-life balance is pretty decent, actually. You get a lot of opportunity for overtime depending on where you're posted. Some detachments obviously are going to have a lot of overtime, and there's not going to be a lot of free time, but you get to pretty much choose where you want to go. So in Edson here, it's great. You get a pretty decent schedule, pretty decent shifts, and you get opportunities for overtime. You can go to nearby detachments, and you can go pretty much anywhere, but as long as you get approval for that kind of thing. And yeah, sometimes you get to stay at your own unit, and you're kind of forced to do a little bit overtime, but no one's really against that, right? You get a good bit of money out of it. So the pay is great. There was recently a pay increase not too long ago, a few years ago. Some of the members can attest to that. But yeah, we're well compensated for the work we do, and the benefits are also great. That's another thing. So just make sure if you guys have anyone that you know or yourselves, the benefits are great. That's something that we should all look into, right? Like, we're taking care of it. So we're taking care of you guys, and we're taking care of ourselves. So it's great. Pension's also good. It's another thing that some of the youth might have trouble understanding. But if you can, if that's something that you want to set yourself up for success in life, you need a good pension. So it's good to know that it's there. Yeah, so most bigger cities, they have a 4-on, 4-off schedule. That's pretty typical. RCMP, we tend to have some variations of that, but we end up working a pretty reasonable amount of time, so it's not too draining in life. If you have friends that like to talk, like to socialize with people and do things like that, it's a great job for them. We deal with people. That's our job. So it's good to have those skills prior to coming in. And if they don't talk, if they're not really good at talking, Depot's a great place to kind of bring them out of their shell. I know a lot of people personally that came in not really knowing how to speak to others. Like they had trouble in social situations and stuff like this, like presentations and whatnot, and large groups. But Depot really got them out of their shells. Some of them are in major crimes now. Not personally anyone I know, obviously, but previous people that have gone into Depot. They came in, like some person that was in a troop prior to mine's. Friends with one of my instructors came in, spoke to my class, so that was a big deal for her because she wasn't able to speak in large group settings, and now she is. So dealing with people, it's good. It's a useful skill in life. So yeah. Does anyone have any questions about anything?
Is there any questions online?
Nothing. Let's see if I can try to take up more of your time here.
Here's the thing, and obviously, we're trying to get the word going in the community. If you know anybody, this is the thing that I think that sometimes we forget. You don't need to know anything about policing. We'll teach you from A to Z how to do it, and we will pay you when you're in Depot to learn it. So you find me a university that pays you to go to get your job, right? So that's a big plus. So something to keep in mind, like you getting paid now to go to Depot. I was not. I can complain, but he can't. He got paid. So, but no, it's something that's going to value when you get an education, a job, and you're getting paid to learn. So.
And the MPF, that's our bargainer, or for
our union.
Union, sorry.
Yeah.
So they're actually talking about increasing the pay at Depot. So it's around was it 1,000?
Not a clue. I didn't get paid.
I think it's 1,200. It's gonna not forget to pay
It's 500.
But yeah, it's gonna be a lot more now. I think it's 12. They're gonna bring it up to 1,250. This is in the works. I'm not sure if it's actually gonna happen, but
I think it's about $500 a week.
yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. 500 is what we got. So we take home around 850 after taxes, but it'll be it's going up. I think the MPF I have faith in them. So if that's a concern, you're actually going to get paid. It's not like the CBSA where you get $125 a week. So that's something to consider. Yeah, so it's a great experience going to Depot. Everyone from all walks of life, people that you would probably never meet in any other circumstance. They all get together. We're there as a team. We're pushing each other through. There's lots of challenges, and we all come out stronger and better together, better for it too. Yeah, and you leave as a member of society who can enact change and actually help people out. And yeah, it's a great experience. It's a great job. I have no regrets. I was in the military prior to joining here, so I can tell you I feel like I'm doing a lot more, nothing against the military, but I feel like I'm doing a lot more directly to influence other people and enact change and help people out. So, yeah, let's end it there.
Yeah.
No one else, is there any questions? No? Yeah.
Sean, how long is the training at Depot?
So the training is 6 months. Yeah, it's 6 months. And you're paid for the whole training, so it's not bad.
And back in the days, you were not going back to the province you were from, blah, 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 blah. Now it's not 100% guaranteed, but it's like 95, 98%.
So I can speak on more of that. So
Yeah.
you generally speaking, you do get the province you want. When I was there at Depot, this is a fact, we did get the exact province we wanted. Even divisions are provinces. So even divisions that were typically not taking people, like PEI, Nova Scotia, so provinces that are hard to get into. But that might change because it's not realistic to just bring everyone back to where they want to go. So that might change a little, but historically, it was BC and Alberta where people tend to get if they wanted to go. But recruiting is making efforts because our commissioner is trying to get more people to join and keep people home pretty much. And going to your town that you really want to go to, there's a decent chance that if people are scared to join because of that reason, because I know historically that's what the military, RCMP, all these organizations struggle with. But yeah, there's a decent chance if your town has an RCMP detachment that you can go back. So that's another thing that recruiting is addressing. It's not a guarantee though. No, pretty good chance. Anything else you want to add there, Christian?
No, that's good.
Final thoughts? Everyone's good here? Get out of here.
Thank you very much. Okay, another about 2-3 minutes on forensic identification section. The reason why Corporal Constable, okay. Chris Wood, he's with Forensic Identification Section here at the detachment. Basically, it's a provincial unit. He'll explain to you quickly what they're doing, just to give you a little bit of a, different perspective on what we do in the RCMP, like even here in Edson. So, Chris, all yours.
Thank you. So yeah, my name is Constable Christian Wood with Forensic Identification Services. There's 3 of us. We're currently based out of Edson, and we service several towns in surrounding Edson, but we're out of the detachment here. I wanted to just drop in, let you guys know who we are and what we do, because oftentimes I'll go to scenes or something and people are like, whoa, you guys are here? So yeah, we're the people. The easiest way to think of us is if you've ever watched CSI, we're those guys that come in with the cameras and look for fingerprints and DNA and all that stuff. I won't take up too much of your time because I know that you want to tell Christian all the things he needs to do. So I'll just quickly I'll give you one thing that helps us out and one thing that you guys should know when we arrive at your business or your home, if there was a break and enter or if your car was stolen. So the first thing that helps us out is that obviously we're looking for things like fingerprints, footwear impressions, DNA from someone. That could be blood, that could be saliva, various things. So the biggest thing when you say come upon a break and enter at your home or something is do your best, and no one's perfect because you're going to be stressed out, you're going to see your home, you're going to want to go in and see what's happened. But just like the suspect potentially left fingerprints and DNA and stuff, you can leave all those things too and potentially destroy all those things. So just try to be thoughtful, and it's hard in the situation, that when you get there, go, okay, where does it look like the person walked through? You'll usually see what's called the path of evidence, which just means there's stuff, the path that the suspect would have taken through your business. So it could have started at the window that they broke, and then you see that they ruffled some papers over there, they went to the safe, they broke open the safe, then they walked out and left through your front door. So that would be the area that you generally want to try to avoid. So that helps us out. Obviously, it's not a deal breaker because we can still find stuff even after people have touched everything and done that. The one thing that you guys, it's good for you to know when we're on scene, is that what we do can be somewhat destructive at times to things. We use chemicals, we use powders, we use different things to try and find evidence. And just know that it's your right to say, I don't really want you to put that on my, say, my cassette, whatever, my nice record player. I don't want you to get dust in there and wreck it. Now, we're usually pretty good at knowing, let's not destroy something that's obviously very valuable, but just know that you get to set the pace of what you want looked at. Obviously, we have less of a chance of finding evidence, but then at least you get to keep your belongings and your things that you do have left in good condition. So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to introduce myself. That's Constable Christian Wood. Happy to answer any questions after or now, but I'll let you get on to giving Christian a hard time. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Perfect. So, like I mentioned tonight, we're talking about policing priorities. We've been very successful lately in Edson. Crimes have gone down a little bit. And one of the reasons for this is we partner with the community. And one of our big partners, COP. And I have Julie Underhook present here tonight, the president of the Edson COP. And I told her I would give her just 2 minutes to introduce herself, say hi, and maybe a couple of words, say what they do here in Edson, helping us, catching criminal, reducing crimes, extra set of eyes in the community. So, Julie, if you want to come to the front.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see you all out here tonight. As Christian said, we are an extra set of eyes and ears for the community. We do a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. We have found impaired drivers. We do some traffic control when there's accidents or incidents, sometimes parades. We have discovered missing persons. We found stolen vehicles. We have discovered a few fires and illegal or suspicious activities, and then we are in direct contact, thank you, with the RCMP members. We do have a sonum, which gives everybody an idea that we can just key it in and we can get almost immediate help wherever we are. If you are interested in joining, I have some application forms here. You can also check if there's something going on in your community and you'd like to report something and you're not quite sure about whether you should call the RCMP or not. You probably should anyways. But we have a Facebook group and you can message any of us if you've got something that we can help you with. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And this is why I'm not going to sign up for the RCMP. Because you have to bend over.
All right. Okay, any questions before I start? So, if there's no questions, we'll get down to policing priorities. Okay, so in 2023, 2024, we did the same thing, consulted with the community, consulted with elected officials, and 3 policing priorities were identified. First one, basically crime reduction, call it / reducing theft in the town and in the county. The second one was policing community relations, so basically having the police present in community events in the county and in the town. And the third one was more of a bit of an internal priority for us at the RCMP, was basically training. We're coming out of COVID, members did not have a chance to do some training, perfect their skills, so that was a priority as well. So that's what was identified. And if we look at how it translated in last year, I'm going to go through this fairly quickly, but just to give you an idea. The measure was to reduce property crime by 5% in town and 5% in the county. Part of our crime reduction was to complete 1,200 proactive patrols, so that's in the county and the town together. Results, so we're still right now in our 4th quarter, so I don't have the final results, but just to give you an idea, the results at quarter number 3, so that ended in December, For the town of Edson, for Yellowhead County, we were down 23% in property crime. And for the town of Edson, we were down 14%. And yeah, that's right. And then if we look at patrols, right now, we've completed so far 1,400 patrols, like 1,399, all right? Some of the results of the patrols, like we have like 30 school visits. So if I get warrants together, we have like probably around 30 warrants from the town and from the county together, combined people that we've arrested, issued some tickets, enforcing some traffic, curfew checks, things like this. So our patrols are not just to be visible, it's also to try to proactively stop and reduce crime. Okay. Now if we look at policing community relations, so our goal last year was to complete 45 contacts. So basically 45, so attending the Jamboree, going to the Piers Gold Days, Gold Dust Days or something like that. I'm not too sure about the name, I think it's Gold Dust Days. Going to schools, school presentations, sometimes doing town halls like this and whatnot. So our goal was 45. After 3 quarters, we've done 42 so far. So we went to 2 rodeos in the county. The Gold Dust Days, we were at the Rob 100th anniversary. Some members went to the Hillbillies Mud Bog races. We were there at Canada Day, Remembrance Day. In town here, we did the bike rodeo. We were there for the Jamboree. Leap Day, when they have all those trucks and vehicles for the kids to come and have a look. We were there. We were at the Edson car show. So trying to be present during times other than when there's a crisis, right? So we can build that relationship with the community. Okay, and then our third was training. So what we set was to try to get about, not necessarily 10 members, but 10 courses that member can attend to, improve on their skills. So far, we were able this year to do 18. I'm talking about ATV operators, surveillance, human sources, search warrant. We have someone that went and became an IARD instructor, so like what we call an immediate action rapid deployment when there's like school shootings and things like this. He's an instructor for that. So that's what we were able to do. So obviously we're on track to finish this year on target, which does not happen all the time, but we are on track this year. So really happy with, I have to commend my members. They're out there, they're the ones doing the work, so I have to give them all the credit, but we're on track. So if I look at the statistics for 2023, so this is from January to December 2023. So if I look at it and I look at the major categories, so if I look at the provincial side of the detachment, if we look at person crimes, we're looking, if we compare with 2022, we saw an increase of about 6% in person crimes. But if we compare, let's say 5 years ago, 2019 to 2023, we saw a 5% decrease. Now, if I go to property crime, if we compare with last year in the county, we saw 23% less crime than the year before. And if we compare with 5 years ago, 39% less. So big increase there. And so that brings us basically to a total of criminal code files being reported to us for 2023 when we compare with 2022, less than 16%, like 16% less, and 5 years ago, 36% less. So now if I look at the same numbers for the town of Edson, people crime, we saw a difference of 23% between 22 and 23. So 23% less. Then 2019 to 2023, 16% less. If we look at property crime, in 2022 versus 2023, we saw a decrease of 14% in 2023. And if we compare with 5 years ago, 43% decrease. So big decrease in property crime in the town of Edson itself. That gives us a total for criminal code files, 22 to 23 for the town of Edson, minus 23%. With 2019, if we compare 5 years ago, 41%. So the trend has been pretty much on the downhill since 2020. And of course, we would like to keep it like this, right? A few factors why this is happening. I mentioned one a little earlier, our work with the community. So COP is helping a lot. The work that has been done with the pods and trying to find a solution with the homeless population is having a very big impact. It was not rare to see sometimes a night when we would, come in the morning and have 10 vehicles that were broken into. We kind of know who did it, right? Sometimes it's the same person breaks into 10 vehicles. Well, that's 10 files. So if we can prevent that, then right there we're removing 10 files from our stats. So things like this. And then a few town halls that we've had, consultation with the community, consultation with elected officials, all this together trying to focus on what we're doing, what we should be doing, where we need to target a little bit more attention, is showing some results. So that's basically the stats that we have for 2023. Any questions or any comment about 2023? The numbers that I just talked about, any clarification, any other numbers that you guys would like to know, statistic-wise? No, we're good. Yes?
I was just wondering about drug use and driving under the influence.
Okay, so good questions. So, drug use. So the drug use and the drug files, so because there's not always someone calling in saying, hey, I'm taking drugs, right? Versus when you're a victim of a break and enter or when you're a victim of a theft, you call the police and reported it. So no one reports themselves using drugs or selling drugs. So we have to catch them, right? So it's a bigger challenge. So we had a transfer in our GIS section, which was a section that was looking after the drugs. So in all fairness, we did not have someone focusing on this on a regular basis. So the numbers are probably not where I would like to see them. So if I look at the drugs, so on the provincial side, we saw basically, an increase in the cases or files that we caught someone with some drugs. That didn't necessarily lead to a charge, but those proactive patrols, sometimes we will pinch someone with some drugs here and there. So we saw an increase. So the increase is basically in 2023, we had 15 files of that nature in the county versus 8 for the year before. And then if I look at the municipality of Edson, we saw a decrease, so minus 30%. So last year we had 8 files versus 16 the year before. So I would take these numbers with a grain of salt in a sense that we were probably not having the impact that I would have liked just because I did not have the staff. Now to say that I've seen through the calls of service that we get something that we should be alarmed or an increase of usage and whatnot, I would not say that. Answer your question?
Yeah, and the driving under the
Oh, sorry, yes. Impaired driving. Okay, so what they're giving me here is basically the stats for roadside suspension, alcohol, roadside suspension, drugs. Okay, so basically those stats, if I look at those, so roadside suspension for alcohol and roadside suspensions for drugs, so I don't have the number, they didn't give me a percentage because for whatever reason, I don't have the 2022 on this. But last year in 2023, 20 cases of roadside suspension for alcohol and 1 case for drugs in the county. And in the town of Edson, 12 cases of alcohol versus 1 for drugs in 2023. I'm sorry, they did not provide the stats for 22, 21, and 2020, so I can't compare. Again, looking at the calls for service that we're getting, I wouldn't say that I'm seeing a trend, more of that. But certainly something that we need to be on top of. And that's why we have those corrective patrols to try to pull over those vehicles that look suspicious. That's why we have COP that helps us to sometimes, observe as well that some people having a different driving pattern on the road. So, any other questions? Yes.
Yes. I was curious, crimes committed by the homeless population and crimes by the general public, how do they stack up?
I don't know. I don't have those numbers. So there's some type of crime that is more committed by one group than the other, and I call it under like the disturbance/nuisance. The homeless population sometimes, will be in, they'll overstay their welcome in a store or a restaurant, or sometimes will be crossing the road where they should not be and take maybe too much of their time, let's put it this way, and then we'll get a calls for service, right? So we would probably get more calls for service of that nature with the homeless person, but then I'm not prepared to say that they're the ones stealing the trucks in town, because I don't think that they have the means or even the time or even that they would know what to do with them. So, but I would not have like the numbers or how it stacks compared to, no, I would not. Any questions online?
We have questions just more on priorities.
On priorities? Okay, all right, we're getting there. Okay, so perfect. So before we move to priorities, so as you can see, the landscape of, or the criminal trend or the type of files that we're looking at is roughly the same year after year. So I said to a few people here, I know coming here I'm going to sound like a broken record. I'm still talking about, property crime and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, that's what we have to deal with here. And so looking at those crime trend and crime stats, that's basically where I want to steer the conversation is, what is your input on what you would like to see us doing next year? Is there anything that you think that we should be focusing on a little bit more, pay more attention? Yes, so let's talk about priorities. I'm, again, open for any feedback or any questions about things that we did last year that you liked or not. So the floor is kind of open to you. We can certainly start with the questions from the public, and then that might just get us going on priorities here.
Sure, we have a few. One is that the RCMP need to patrol Edson Drive, and is there anything you can do to maybe patrol and watch for people tampering with license plates and switching license plates?
Okay, it's very good. So traffic always comes up. The reason why I personally don't put traffic as a priority, first of all, that doesn't mean that we don't do any. The reason why I don't put that as a priority, it's because if we look at the statistics, the numbers of collisions that we have in Edson, we're not in a situation where we have a rampant problem. Now I know every time you look out the window, if you wait long enough, there'll be someone speeding on your street, guaranteed. And it's a constant battle. It's a cat and mouse game between the police and the speeders, I'd say. And I'll send my members out. They'll sit on Edson Drive, for example. They'll sit there for half hour. We'll catch one person, and after that, everybody drives perfectly. We leave, takes half hour, they speed again. That's why we have those corrective patrols. The best way to tackle speeding and traffic enforcement is to have that unpredictable pattern of where the police will be, then people will just have the habit to slow down. We're having some success, we're writing some tickets, but traffic is and will always be a challenge because once we're set up somewhere and we start enforcing traffic, everybody knows, time to slow down on Edson Drive. But for sure, Edson Drive is a location that we hear about. 63rd Street is a location we hear about. 13th Ave, 40th Avenue, absolutely. Now, license plate. We have a program or we have a service at the detachment and with the Bannister group. So we have those specialized license plate that need a special screwdriver to remove. So if someone is concerned about getting their license plate stolen, they can come and see us, or they can stop to Bannister, and we will install free of charge those license plate. And basically the screw is just a different head. You require a special screwdriver to remove that. So it helps. It doesn't prevent completely, but it helps or reduce the numbers of license plate that get stolen. So feel free to come. We have tons at the office.
Okay, there's just two more online right now. Who did they contact to get the RCMP to watch a four-way stop? She said she's contacted the RCMP to no avail so far.
No avail so far to watch a call. So I would say you would have to report that as a complaint to the detachment. And usually when we get a complaint, we act on it. Now, we have to factor in, do we have the resources on that day, or did we watch that intersection the day we get called? Maybe not, maybe we go a day after, whatnot, but call our complaint line, make a complaint about the intersection. The more we hear about it, then the more it becomes a priority. And there's nobody in particular that they need to contact, just call the detachment, and eventually we will try to address the situation.
And is there any special training happening now, or could there be any special training to help people with special needs like autism?
No, there's none. I have been in contact with a group. Now, if they're watching, they're going to be upset with me because I forgot their name. But I think it's LEAP. I think you're right. I think it's LEAP. And what we're trying to look at is to have basically a dispatch system to let us know if there's someone that has those kinds of needs in a residence that we would be attending. I believe the fire department in Edson is already on or has a list, and we just need to coordinate a couple more meetings, and then from there trying to establish a list. And basically what that will do is basically inform the members that the residents they're attending, there might be a person that is, that react differently to noises or colors or bright lights and whatnot. So, but in terms of training, no, there's none. Those are good questions.
So
Yes.
Is there a program for mental health? People with issues with mental health?
So we do have online courses to try for us to be familiarize ourselves with mental health. I mean, we understand that mental health is a very broad topic and with a lot of different branches and whatnot, but we are trained, like I said, with online courses on some of the things that we need to recognize and adjust our approach and our intervention when we can recognize that someone is suffering from mental health.
So does Edson have anything at the moment with somebody who is specialized in mental health and with the RCMP? Is that thing?
Sorry, I'm not understanding the question.
Okay, like in the city, they will have an RCMP go out with, say,
Yes.
a specialist. Does Edson have any?
Yes, I was getting there, yes.
Okay.
So we do have a section called RPAC,
Okay.
Rural Police and Crisis Team. So that person is stationed in Hinton. She's teamed up with AHS, and they have to cover Jasper, Hinton, Edson, Wannsee, Evansburg, Grand Cache, Drayton Valley. It's a big area. We've had her engage on many files with many people, but as you can understand, with the area she has to cover, it's fairly limited. But the service is there. If someone is to call us saying, listen, can we have her contact or get her in touch with so-and-so, it is possible. And sometimes just having that contact helps a lot or prevents some calls. So it is, we do have that service here, yes. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, I just have a question. We have to be aware of what's going on in the world. There's a lot of protests going on in Europe, and so in the U.S. right now, AT&T is shut down their cellular service all across the nation. Are we prepared again? Are we prepared before it happens? Because they usually give us a little bit of a hint what's going to happen. If we have a cyber attack, banks as well, a bank run or something like that, do we have a plan in place if that does happen? I mean, it's not just rumor because it's happening. So I'm just wondering if police, there's that question again, are you for the government or the people? And so we as people are concerned that we have somewhere to go and some sort of a plan if that does happen.
No, 100%, 100%. I'll answer your second question, comment. We're for the people. I think Rashan made it very clear, hey, we're here to communicate with people. We're here for you guys. We build relationship. I'm here tonight. I've met many of you privately, town hall and whatnot. When you need us, we're there. We're there. We'll the best we can with the tools that we have. We'll answer your questions and your needs and try to find a solution. Now, the first part, so there's nothing that has been brought to my attention or I don't know to the RCMP attention, I can talk for headquarters, but at my level, there was nothing that was brought to my attention as to should we be worried about, some cyber attack, bank crisis and whatnot. Right now, the focus of that nature is more focused about the war in Gaza, basically paying attention to, do we have any protests in your area from either side, Israeli people or Palestinian people? Is there any protest? And like so far we have not, or we did not get any here, but I know some of the detachment that did. Another focus that we have right now is, we just take 2 seconds and look outside. We're preparing for like the possibility of having more fires, wildfires this year, and that's what we're kind of focusing right now. So I will be attending some meetings with the county and with the town in the upcoming days. So that's basically what we're working on right now, at my level anyway. Yeah. Any other questions? No? So if we go back to basically our priority or what we should do in this upcoming year. This is what I would suggest, and this is what I will present to elected official at the county and in the town, is basically following the same path that we've taken for the last 4 years, is continuing addressing property crime as our #1 through what we've been doing, because so far it's been working. The patrols, working with the community, we are in the process of staffing that position that could help us get more drug files, tackling the root problems for a lot of crimes. So that's what I would like to suggest. But again, if there's anybody that has any ideas, any suggestion, or anything in particular in that world of policing that they would like us to do, please let me know. Yes?
How has the shelter costs been imposed affected crime or situations in Edson?
We saw a slight increase in people sleeping at night in areas that they should not be, but not as big as of an impact I would have expected. Surprisingly, that population is very efficient at finding solutions for themselves, and it seems that they were able to pivot fairly quickly, turn around fairly quickly. Although we are having a very warm winter, so that helps too. So no, not that big. Yeah.
A few more on.
Yes.
A few more online. More police presence around the Kinsman Park would be great.
Okay.
Many people there speeding in and out.
Yes.
There was talk about an open house or course regarding steps a homeowner or business owner can take to prevent damage or break-ins. Is there any update on that?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Whoever asked the question, thank you. So, working with COP, there's a course training called SEPTA, basically Crime Reduction Through Environmental Design. It's a course that teaches or instruct people on what they can do on their property to, again, help prevent being victimized. We are lucky, our COP group accepted to send some people to get the training. And for example, Julie here is a trainer and can actually go to properties, residential or commercial, and basically do an assessment and evaluation and come up with some ideas to help you prevent crime. Sometimes it's changing the type of lights that you're using, trimming some trees or flower beds in front of windows and things like this. So that service is available here in Edson through COP. They can contact the detachment. I will get them connected with COP. I know I have asked COP to contact a couple of businesses that have been hit recently, and I'm like, maybe it would be worth to go and have a chit chat with them. Totally up to the businesses to accept the service or not, but yes, this is available. Very good question.
Okay. And can you touch base on how residents can register their home cameras with the RCMP to help with crime?
Yes, that's with Capture. I don't have the information here with me, but it's a program called Capture. You basically register your cameras, and at the end of the day, it's a ledger for us. It's like to know where there are some cameras that could be available for us for review. And let's say there was a crime that happened in a certain area. Again, contact the detachment. I'll be more than willing to get the detailed information. I just don't have that with me, but yeah, it's captured. I would not be surprised that the information would be on the RCMP website as well. So it's probably right up there. So there's an app that you can download for either iPhone or Android, RCMP app. You get local statistics, crime, information, and I have it on my phone. I look at it from time to time, although I know what's going on here, but I like to see what the public has access to. So that's available, it's free, so highly recommended. You can even report some crimes, certain type obviously through the app, online reporting, so yeah, very useful tool. Oh, sorry about that.
Were there any charges laid in our area during the evacuations?
Charges laid? I want to say no. I don't even think that we arrested someone.
You better, because you wouldn't let me into town because you were chasing
we did not arrest you.
What's that?
We did not arrest you.
No, you wouldn't let me into town.
No, so
because you were having problems.
So did we provide a ride to some people outside of the evacuation zone? Yes, we provided some rides, but did we arrest and lay charges? Unless you guys remember, like I seriously, I did not check here before coming, but I want to say no. Like no. We gave you a hard time, did we?
No, I don't think it's me a hard time.
Just that there was supposedly thefts going on, so that's why they couldn't let them into town, so there's this high-speed chase or something. So they didn't catch anybody, then why were they having people not go to their business to stop theft there?
Because I had to go to my place,
Because people were
my
staying
properties,
there.
because they were daily in my property.
Yeah, no. So
Daily,
don't get.
so that was.
So okay. So maybe I misunderstood. So you're talking arrest because they were in the evacuated zone and should not be there, or arrest because they committed a crime? Like there's two different things here. Sorry. So there was no one that was arrested because they did not evacuate. So that's my first answer.
Oh, I'm well aware of that.
Okay.
I just wanted to know.
It's for crime. That's
Oh, for crime.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have any statistics. I can certainly look back and go back. Was there a few people that were charged? I would have to look back. I know of one case. We had a gentleman. He was on someone's deck. We caught him with the camera. We all recognize him. I just don't know if we laid a charge on him or not. I just don't have those numbers. Sorry, I thought you meant anybody that were arrested and charged for being here in Edson. Sorry about that. So it was challenging because there were some people that stayed and were stealing items and committing some criminal activities. It was challenging. There was a lot of police officers patrolling, but we were missing our key number one that helps us to catch like bad guys, criminals, and people, suspicious people, is basically the public. There was no one at the house to say, hey, there's someone in my backyard. There was no neighbor saying, hey, there's a suspicious truck in front of so-and-so's house. So it was a bit of a challenge to catch someone doing something illegal when we were evacuated. Answer your question? Okay.
Just in regards to the cameras, how soon does the police respond to a request for footage? It would help with recording settings. So how long should they keep the recordings for?
Can you repeat the question, please, Christian? I can't hear.
Oh, so the question is, how long should people keep the footage on their cameras? Back to like if they can register their cameras. So it's a hard one because sometimes we find out something, a month later. I would say on average, if you keep it for a week, it's probably a good, measuring stick. Usually when there's something that happens, the house gets broken into, we find out fairly quickly. We do the canvassing of the area fairly quickly. But sometimes we have the odd one where someone else was on vacation, they come back, and garage got broken into, and it was a month ago, so I'd say a week. Yeah. Those are all good questions. Absolutely. Anything else? Yes.
There's a gun in the United States, supposed to be non-lethal gun, it's called a Berna. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not, but they say it's legal in 50 states. They don't say anything about Canada, but it fires plastic pellets that can shatter glass at 15 feet.
Okay.
And it also has tear gas and pepper spray pellets, which you can shoot supposed criminal. I wondered if you ever heard of Berna and if it would be allowed in Canada.
So for law enforcement or something that people can buy and use?
People can buy it.
I've personally never heard of it. No, I've never heard of it. Yeah, not surprised. Like, I mean, there's always new things coming up. Yeah, sorry.
Sure. Sorry.
Anything else? Okay, good. That's all I have, really. It's really to get your feedback, seeing what you wanted us to do, if you think it will be relevant, important for us to focus on. Actually, nobody gave me a hard time about property crime, so we're going to focus on that. Okay. Seriously, if there's no other questions, that's all I have.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.